Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS. Today in this session, we are going to discuss current affairs of 24th February 2024. So first of all, we are going to take PDF of Hindu and we are going to pick out the important articles from our examination point of view. And after picking out of articles, we are going to see different dimensions. So this multi-dimensional approach is very important to gain good marks in your mains. Okay. And one more thing here is we are going to connect even one topic with different subjects, like interlinking of subjects. So this interlinking of subjects is very important from the deep understanding of the subject, and even that will be very helpful to know about the things what is happening around you, right? So now let us see this current affairs without wasting any time. So this is front page of Hindu today, and here I am taking Delhi edition. So whichever edition that you are having, like Hyderabad edition, Chennai edition, like that, so you can use that edition comfortably. Yes, so this is the front page. So the first article, it is about West pushing Russia closer to China, says Jaishankar. So this article is talking about exclusively Raisina dialogue, and this is annual dialogue that is seen in India. Okay, so here already we discussed about this topic called as Raisina dialogue, and actually we have to see some statements which are given by our External Affairs Minister, that is Jaishankar ji. So he said that here Russia, it is moving close towards China. Okay, Russia is moving close towards China. So here you have to know some important concepts, like what is this United Nations Security Council? Okay, what is this P5 power? So this is very important thing that we need to discuss. So we are going to see that. So here this topic is important, okay, from our international relations. So this international relations comes under GS paper 2. And here you have to know some important topics, like what is this Raisina dialogue? So we discuss this topic in clearly, just facts regarding this Raisina dialogue, and it is also talking about Russia China relations. So second topic. And third one, it is talking about United Nations Security Council. So why this United Nations Security Council is important? So let us see the membership. So there are two types of members of this United Nations Security Council. So one is permanent members, and second one is non-permanent members. So how many permanent members are there? So we have 5 permanent members. We are calling them as P5. And we have 10 non-permanent members, and they have the tenure of 2 years. Okay, so totally we have 15 members. And the cause of concern here is, in this P5 members we have Russia on one side and we have China on another side. So India is saying that we need to have reforms. So we need reforms in this United Nations Security Council, and India is asking to expand membership. India is asking to expand permanent membership, and India is eligible for that. So because of this, India is constantly saying to increase the membership, and India is supported by other 3 countries. So the grouping is called as G4 countries. And to this G4 countries, there are opponents, that is called as Coffee Club. So Coffee Club countries, they don't want any changes or reforms in this United Nations Security Council, and these countries are opposite to this G4 countries. Okay, China and Russia, they are P5 countries. So here there is one concept called as veto power. So these 2 countries, they are enjoying veto power now. Especially China don't want India to enter into this P5 or this permanent membership of United Nations Security Council, and China is stopping India's entry into this P5 nations or permanent nations of this United Nations Security Council. So these are some important things that you have to remember, and this article is important from both your prelims and as well as your mains. So now let us see next topic. It is about internet ban. So make public orders on Jammu and Kashmir internet ban. So this article is very important. Yes. Okay, so this article, it is talking about internet ban, right? Okay, this topic is talking about internet ban. So this article is important from GS paper 2 under polity. And we can connect with different subjects from this impacts point of view, like how it is going to impact society, how it going to impact education, how it going to impact economy, because nowadays we are going for digital transactions and as well as online sites, and how it is going to impact on health, global trade, okay. So in these dimensions you can think from different subjects point of view. So now let us see from polity point of view. You have to see one important famous Supreme Court judgment. So you have to see one famous Supreme Court judgment regarding this internet ban, and you have to see constitutional provisions which are violated if you are going for internet ban, and you have to see what is the impact, as I said, from different dimensions point of view. Okay, so whether it is the first time you are coming up with this internet ban, no, not at all. So internet ban is very common, especially government will be taking these steps to stop spread of information. Okay, to stop spread of information and to stop spread of misinformation. Okay. And recently, because of this communal violence in Manipur also, government took this step, that is internet ban, especially to stop the spread of information and to control the condition and to maintain peace and order. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to remember. And now let us try to see this article in detail. And now let us see our today's quote. So our today's quote is, yes, it is very relevant now. That is, you have got two choices. Only you are having two choices. So in multiple choice questions, you will be having 4 options, A, B, C, D. But now in this situation, prelims is very, very near. So you have only 2 options. So one is do it now. So one is do it now, and second one is regret it later. So if you're not doing now, then you have to regret it in later. So I should have do that. So I would have do that. Or for example, I might have did this. So like that, once the time has been passed, so you will have to regret for not doing the things now. So try to do as much as possible now, so that you can achieve your dreams and goals and you will be having a very successful life ahead. So if you're not doing now, then you have to regret it. So always I will listen this word from my mother-in-law and my mother, like, so if I have go to school, if I had go to school, so I used to be do like government job now. So that time, so they do not have the proper opportunity, okay, to go to schools and to have the good education. But now you are having bundles and bundles of resources. You are having this smartphone, and whatever the thing that you want, you can get to this smartphone, like content or anything, videos, etc. So try to use the technology that is present now and try to achieve your goals. So I wish you very all the best for you. Okay, so don't regret later. So do it now. So it is my sincere advice to you students. Yes, now let us see the first topic. It is about internet ban. So if you're talking about context, Supreme Court ordered the government to publish the final decisions of the committee which reviews internet suspension orders in Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, Supreme Court now ordered the government regarding the final decisions or recommendations of the committee to be made public. Yes, regarding this internet ban. So on 10th January 2020, a landmark decision which is taken by Supreme Court. Okay, so the famous case that you have to remember is Anuradha Basin versus Union of India 2020. So whenever you are writing answer regarding internet shutdown, examiner will be looking for this case for sure. That is Anuradha Basin versus Union of India. So on 10th January 2020, a landmark judgment or decision taken by Supreme Court, and Supreme Court declared that access to internet is a fundamental right. Yes, access to internet, it is a fundamental right under Indian Constitution. And even Supreme Court also emphasized on government imposed restriction of internet access. That means, yes, government can go for internet shutdown, but there are some restrictions like, so they should be temporary and they should be limited, lawful, and only in the necessary times only we have to go for internet shutdown. So these are some important things which said by Supreme Court in this Anuradha Basin versus Union of India case of 2020. And now let us see what was the Supreme Court decision in case of this Anuradha Basin versus Union of India. So first and the foremost thing which said by Supreme Court here is freedom of speech and expression. Okay, freedom of speech and expression, which comes under Article 19 subclass 1A. Right? So Supreme Court declared that the freedom of speech and expression and the freedom of practice any profession to carry on any trade, business or occupation over the medium of internet enjoys constitutional protection. For example, Article 19(1) subclass G, which talks about freedom of professions, and this Article 19(1) subclass A talks about freedom of speech and expression. And whenever we are coming up with restrictions upon such fundamental rights, so they should be with consonance with the mandate under Article 19 subclass 2 and subclass 6 of Indian Constitution. So actually, yes, we know that fundamental rights are given to everyone like citizens, and there are some fundamental rights which are given only to the Indians but not for the foreigners. You have to know that. And one more thing here is they are not absolute. So there can be reasonable restrictions made by the government. So those reasonable restrictions of this Article 19 which talks about freedom, which is present in this Article 19 subclass 2. So whenever government is coming up with internet shutdown or restrictions of use of internet, it should be according with the provisions of Article 19 subclass 2. So this is the thing which said by Supreme Court. And even Supreme Court suspended the order, like an order suspending internet services indefinitely is impermissible under Temporary Suspension of Telecom Services Act and Rule. So under this rule, yes, we can go for only temporary suspension but not indefinitely. So this is the thing which said by Supreme Court. And next one is suspension can be utilized for only temporary duration, not for permanent process or not for the indefinite period. So even we have to check with this principle of proportionality, like any order suspending internet issued under the suspension rules, so they have to adhere to the principle of proportionality and they must not extend beyond the necessary duration. Okay, and they must not extend beyond the necessary duration. And next one is judicial review. Any order suspending internet under the suspension rules is subjected to judicial review and it is based on the parameters set out herein. Okay, so whatever the orders they are there, so they are mainly comes under this judicial review. So these are some important things which said by Supreme Court in this Supreme Court judgment in this Anuradha Basin versus Union of India case. And next one is what was the aftermath of Supreme Court decision in the case of Anuradha Bhasin versus Union of India. So after the judgment which is given by even Supreme Court, so there is no stopping or there is no limit on this internet shutdown. So it is one cause of concern. So contrary to expectations, the year following the Supreme Court decision, so there is increased internet shutdowns in India. Okay, in 2020, India's internet restrictions, they accounted for over 70% of global economic losses. So whenever there is shutdown, yes, it is having huge impact on trade, digital transactions, education, health sector, on society. So all these things that led to 70% of global economic losses. And now let us see about which are the constitutional provisions talking about this internet shutdown. So first one is, as usual, that is freedom of speech and expression, which comes under Article 19(1), so Class A, and even freedom of trade, okay, freedom of profession. It is also one of the important fundamental right. And next one is, whenever we are going for this restriction of fundamental right, so they should be according to our Article 19 subclass 2 and as well as 19 subclass 6. And this one is the test of proportionality. It is a legal principle that we can use, like whether the action of government, that is internet shutdown, can be justified or not. So these are some important things that you have to think about. And now let us see next topic. So next topic, it is about Gemini AI's reply to query on Modi violates IT rules. So here you have to focus on what is this Gemini AI. Okay, what is this Gemini AI? So it is very important concept, and there is a high chance of getting prelims question based on this Gemini AI. So we are going to see these things first. So now let us see what is the context. So the context is, there is one controversy which is going on. Like here, this Gemini is Google's new artificial intelligence chat product. Okay, so Gemini is artificial intelligence chat product of Google. And this Gemini AI is violating India's information technology laws and criminal codes. So this is issue. So when we found that it is violating this, because when a user asked that is Modi a fascist, here Gemini AI responded that Mr. Modi had been accused of implementing policies that some experts have characterized as fascist. So this is the answer which is given by this Gemini artificial intelligence, and now it is a controversy and it is becoming viral in the social media. So these are direct violations to this Rule 3(1)(b) of IT rules of 2021, and even it is violating several provisions of this criminal code as well. So because of this is the news. And here we have to know some facts regarding what is this Gemini AI. So this Gemini AI, it is a multimodal artificial intelligence. Okay, it is a multimodal artificial intelligence and a large language model, and this model is developed by Google. So if we're talking about important features, there are 4 important features that you have to remember. So first one is, it is multimodal. That means it can understand different types of information like text, audio, images and video. So all these information can be understood from the different types. And each one is, it is very powerful. It surpasses most human experts in various tasks. For example, it will be like a most powerful AI model to date. And this one is different types. So we have this model will be available in 3 models, like Ultra. Ultra, it is for highly complex tasks, and Pro for scaling across a wide range of tasks, and we have Nano. Nano is on device task. So the Nano and Pro models will be immediately incorporated into Google AI powered chatbot. Okay, and Ultra model is going to be launched in the next year. So these are some important facts. And now let us see what is the significance of this Gemini AI. So first one here is, it could revolutionize how we search for information online. So it will be helpful revolutionization of searching of information online. And even it could be used to create new forms of art, okay, and even entertainment, which is pushing the boundaries of human creativity. So in this way, here we have lots and lots of significance of this Gemini AI. and what are the concerns. So if there is any development which is going on, so we have an issue like it will replace the jobs. The job displacements will be happening in this sector. And next one is amplification of misinformation, that is spread of misinformation, disinformation. It is having the negative consequences. So these are some important points that you have to remember, right? And now let us move on to next topic. So this is the front page, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, and now let us see the next topic. So in city page there is nothing much important, and even in the states page also I found most of the articles which are political article. So there is no need of reading any political article. So if there is any keyword which is relevant from our examination point of view, I will let you know those keywords also, don't worry. So in this states page there is nothing much important, and leave these ads. So there is no need of going through that of ads. Yes, here in this page number 6 there is one small article. It is regarding ISRO mission. So whenever any mission regarding ISRO, NASA, European Space Agency and JAXA which is in news, means that will be very important from your examination point of view. And this is one of the favorite area of UPSC. So now let us see the title. It says that PAPA detects solar wind impact of coronal mass ejections. So this article is talking about one important update of Aditya L1 mission. Okay, so whatever the payload is there, so it started detecting the impact of wind and as well as how it is going to impact this coronal mass ejections. Okay, so now let us see some important dimensions. This article is talking about Sun mission, or we can say it is a solar mission. Okay, you have to see what is this Aditya L1 mission. And you have to see what are the provisions. Or what are the features. And what are the aims and objectives of this mission. And you have to know even what is this L1, that is Lagrange points. So we have 5 points. So now this Aditya L1 is placed at L1. Okay, so all these are very, very important, and you have to know even about payloads, because this article is talking about payloads. And this topic is important from GS paper 3 under Science and Technology. Clear? And now let us move on to the notes. Context says that the Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO, said that plasma analyzer package for Aditya, that is PAPA payload on board the Aditya L1, and now it has detected impact of coronal mass ejection, that is CME. So we're talking about some details here. So PAPA, it is an energy and mass analyzer which is designed for in situ measurements of solar wind and electrons and ions in the low energy range. So this PAPA, it is energy and mass analyzer, and this PAPA, it is one of the payload, so which is designed for in situ measurements of solar wind, electrons and ions in the low electron range or low energy range. And this one is, it has 2 sensors. So one is sweep, that is a solar wind electron energy probe, and actually this sweep, it is measuring the electrons in the energy range of 10 eV, okay, 10 eV to 3 keV. And this one is solar wind on ion composition analyzer, that is Speaker. The Speaker is measuring ions in the energy range. So one is measuring the energy range at the low level, and one is maintaining or one is measuring this energy levels at high level. Okay, so we have two sensors, and these sensors, they also provide the measure of direction of the arrival of the solar wind particles. So this is the one breakthrough that I can say in this India's space sector. So now let us see some facts regarding this Aditya L1. So Aditya L1, it is the first Indian space-based observatory. Okay, and it is the first India's space-based observatory, and actually this is dedicated to the study of sun. And it's launched in September 2023 by using PSLV C-57 rocket. And after placing this satellite in halo orbit around this L1 points, now it allows continuous observation of sun without occultation of eclipse. Okay, so this is one advantage that we have. And this one is L1 is about 1.5 million kilometers from the Earth, and it's having a distance of L1 from Earth approximately. It is around 1% of Earth's sun distance. So if talking about this L1 point, that is Lagrange points, so these are the positions which are present in the space where the gravitational forces of these two large masses like Earth and the Sun, they will be balanced. And next one is the spacecraft leverage these points to minimize the fuel consumption, and even it will be allows the spacecraft to maintain their position efficiently. So these are some important points regarding this Aditya L1. And now if you're talking about this Aditya L1, so Aditya L1 which carries 7 payloads. Okay, so some are to study this photosphere, some are to study chromosphere, and as well as corona. So these payloads which are having an important aim to provide information regarding how this corona of sun is getting heating, and what is this coronal mass ejections, and space weather, dynamics, and also particle and field propagations. So this application part is very important from your prelims and as well as from your mains. Okay, so this is about this topic. Any doubts so far? And if you're understanding like how to read this Hindu, yes, please do hit the like button. Don't leave the class without hitting the like button. So it is my sincere request. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us go back to our Hindu page. And in editorial, here you can see one article in this states page, that is Delhi LG tells CM to table 5 pending CAG reports. So here you have to know about what is this CAG. CAG is nothing but Controller and Auditor General of India. Controller and Auditor General of India. So here LG, okay, Lieutenant Governor, he wrote to Chief Minister that there are 5 reports of this CAG, they are pending. So first of all, submit those reports. So here you have to know about some facts regarding this CAG. So here you have to see this constitutional provisions of this CAG and what are the functions of this CAG. So even the parliamentary committees also CAG plays a very important role. So what is the role played by this CAG? So all these things are very important, and this is your homework, and you can get this chapter directly in your Lakshmikant. Yes, it is editorial session. So this article, it is about internet shutdown. I discussed this topic, and we are not going to see this topic again. So it is talking about Anuradha Basin versus Union of India case. And next topic, it is changing growth paradigm. So this article is very interesting. Okay. So here author says that whatever the economic condition, which is present in India, it is not good now. So here author says that we are following this Western philosophies. Rather than following these Western philosophies, we can focus on these local philosophies. Okay, so this is the idea which is given by the author, nothing more, nothing less, and there is no need of remembering any data. So in introduction, I will zoom in so that you can see clearly. Can you see now? Yes? Okay. So author says that India's economy is not healthy. And the governor of RBI said in an open letter to Union Finance Minister. And he also said that more GDP does not improve the well-being of citizens if it does not put more income in their pockets. So rather than we are focusing on GDP, we have to focus on increasing of income of people. So how we can ensure that? So we can provide decent jobs. Okay, so if you are providing the decent jobs, we can increase the income of the people. And health of any complex system, whether human body or nation economy, it cannot be determined by its size. And if you are talking about economy of a nation, we are measuring in terms of GDP growth. So GDP growth has become the dominant measure of health of all economies. For example, here this article says that whenever there is increasing of size before redistribution, or whenever we replace the socialist models with this capitalist models, so these are the some important reasons for the bad condition of economy. And not only that, we need to take some measures for how to alleviate this poverty and how to increase employment opportunities and also adequate income and their models. So they are very important. So this is the thing which mainly said. And our finance minister said that our finance minister is not responsible for poor Indian economy. So all Indian government since liberalization of economy in 1991, so we have just focused on GDP. So GDP grew around 7.2% per year in 10 years of United Progressive Alliance rule, that is UPA rule, and also 7.2% of rise in this NDA rule. But here there is no difference in the growth. But the structural conditions that cause inequitable growth has also not changed. So here in fact they have been worsened when we are comparing with this UPA government and NDA government. Okay, so he says that we need to focus on sustainable development and as well as inclusive development. Okay, so he said that rather than following this other Western countries issues or Western countries economic policies, so we have to focus on our problems, like how can we decrease this global climate change, or how can we come out of this global climate change crisis, how can we grow our economy. Okay, and India must use more fossil fuels to propel economic growth now because we do not have the proper resources. Okay, so India need to have a new paradigm of progress for the world, and we have to focus on inclusive and as well as economically sustainable growth. So here at last he also gave like what are the solutions for this problem. So these solutions are very important. So he said that communities they need to be involved in these problems of climate change, and community can be taken into consideration so that we can achieve this inequitable economic growth. And especially Gandhian solution for India is economic and social progress that we are adopting in the modern and Western solutions. But rather than that, we have to focus on these cottage industries, because 64% of Indian citizens they live in rural areas, and only 36% in China and 17% in US. So a majority were on farms, and even they are working the small industries in rural area, including Raj factories that use automated equipment. So because of all these things, so these people they are facing disadvantages. So here this article says that India's policy makers they need to be free. Okay, so Indian policy makers they must be free themselves from Western dominated theories of economics. And actually these Western philosophies they are the important root cause for these problems. Okay, so they are not the solutions. So here author says that now it is time to go back to old solutions to go to the future. And rural Bharat, it can be a university of the world, and we can produce innovations, institutions and applications for inclusive and as well as sustainable growth. So this is very nice article which is given. So go through this article once. So these are the two important articles that appear in our today's Hindu editorial, and there is no need of going through this ground zero. Yes, and if you move on here, you can see one important topic, that is Grey Zone Warfare. Latest entry in Lexicon of Warfare says CDS. So here you have to focus on this keyword, what is this Grey Zone Warfare and how this Grey Zone Warfare is used by China. So please pause the video and let me know what is this Grey Zone. Okay, so please let me know what is this Grey Zone Warfare. Fast. Done? Okay, so this topic is at most important, and whenever you're seeing this new type of keyword, so you have to know the meaning and you have to understand how it is used by the different countries, right? So here you have to know some dimensions. So this article is talking about Grey Zone Warfare. So this article is talking about Grey Zone Warfare. So you have to understand what is the meaning of this Grey Zone Warfare, and you have to see what is the impact, and you have to see so how China is using this Grey Zone Warfare to counter this. What are the measures taken by India, and this what itself you have to see what are the examples. Okay, so this article is important from GS paper 3 under Science and Technology, and even this is important from GS paper 2 under International Relations. So from these two subjects point of view, so this article is at most important. Clear? Yes, now let us move on to this topic and let us discuss this. So if you see context, it says that in Lexicon on Warfare, Grey Zone is the latest entry. So it is used by China in South China Sea and even across northern borders and even across line of actual control, okay, etc. So here General Chauhan, he said that Grey Zone Warfare, it is a kind of military action which is below a particular threshold, but it will invite a response from the other countries. So what is this Grey Zone Warfare? So this Grey Zone Warfare, it is a strategy. So in this strategy, countries, they tries to gain the advantage over another country without resorting to open war. They are not coming with open war, but they will be creating this type of conditions so that there will be the response from the other countries as well. So for example, the tactics like cyber attacks, misinformation, economic pressures, so those can be used for destabilizing the other country. So China is particularly very much trained in this Grey Zone tactics. So now let us see what are the Grey Zone tactics which are used by China against India. So first one here is South China Sea activities. So China uses naval and civilian vessels to assert its dominance in this South China Sea, and because of increasing of its vessels and movements of these vessels in this region, it is creating tensions in its neighboring countries and as well as including India. And next one is it is also building near border. So it is developing these model villages across the borders. Especially China is constructing infrastructure and villages near India's borders. So these projects, they will increases the territorial claims and they are offering strategic advantages to China. So in this method also, China wants to increase its claim on this territory of India. And next one here is digital investments. So China invests in apps, media and other digital platforms in India, so that even China is showing some influence in the digital space, okay, as well. And next one is India's countermeasures. So interagency collaborations. For example, India has prompted its defense, intelligence and police forces to collaborate. Okay, so in this way here, India is trying to strategize and to counter the challenges of this grey zone warfare. And even India increased its vigilance in the border areas and even some key strategic locations as well against this Chinese activity. And this one is India is also regulating tech inflows. Like India is scrutinizing foreign tech investments more closely to ensure national security and as well as stability. So we are not compromising on our national security. So in this way here, India also taking some steps to counter this China. Right? So these are the some important points that you have to remember. Yeah, and now let us move on to our paper. And there is one more important article here. That is CEC hold meeting with TN political parties. So here we are focusing on this CEC, that is Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner. So whenever any article which is coming from elections point of view, it is very important. So open your chapter of elections in your Lakshmikant and go through the CEC and as well as EC. So it is very important. Yeah, and now let us see the next topic. So most of the articles are political articles and advertisements. So there is nothing much important. Yes, there are two articles which is talking about surrogacy. So you have to know this surrogacy and Surrogacy Act in India. So title says Center Amend Surrogacy Rules allows couples to use donor gametes. Now couples, they can use donor gametes. Okay, so what is the surrogacy? It is very important. So even one famous actress also, she went for surrogacy and there was some controversy which is going on, and she is Nayanthara and she had two kids, okay, two babies, okay, baby boys, okay, to the surrogacy, and recently the birthday of those had been completed, but controversy has not been ended till now. Okay, so now let us see this topic in detail. And this topic is important from GS paper 3 under Science and Technology, because we are talking about reproductive assisted technology here. Okay, so here if you see context, it says that our union government, that is central government, has modified the surrogacy regulation rules 2022 and notified that both gametes need not come from a married couple in case they are certified as suffering from medical condition. Okay, let us see male and female. So from male, what is a male gamete? That is sperm. So we will be taking sperm. Sperm is a male gamete, sperm, and from female, egg will be released. And the lifespan of this sperm will be like 2 to 3 days, but the egg will be just 24 hours. Okay, so what happens here in the surrogacy is, so if this pair, either male or female, if they are having problem in their reproductive system, so they cannot reproduce, so women cannot become pregnant. Like for example, yeah, I will tell you like what's the thing which is going on. So this is female reproductive system. So this is womb, right? So this is fallopian tubules and this is ovary. Okay, so this is fallopian tubules, so this is ovary. Right ovary, left ovary. So the problems like for example, this female, if she is not producing eggs, there is no release of gametes. For example, yes, fertilization is happening, but if it is implanting in this fallopian tubes, okay, so that is also one problem. She will be not getting pregnant. And one more thing here is, if that fertilized egg is not attaching to this uterus, then it is also waste. And if there is any endometrium, like any tumors which is present in uterus, then that uterus will be not supporting for the growth of that so and so fetus. It is also a problem. For example, if the cervix is very small and that time here, so woman, she cannot bear the weight of the child. So what happens? The termination will be happening, right? And if there are any reactions that are happening in the body, that will also lead to termination. So in this way, there will be lots and lots of factors that will lead to woman, she is not getting pregnant. So not only problem in the female is leading to the decreasing of TFR, but even male will be also having some problems. Okay. First one is there is very less sperm count. Okay, so whatever the sperms are there, so they will be having some modifications, like some may not be active. Okay, so I will be explaining this concept also. I have to tell. Okay, so here sperm count is very important. That means in one ejaculation, so how many sperms the man is releasing. So we need certain amount of sperms, because so whenever man is releasing the sperms here, so they have to move in this uterus and they have to enter into the tubes. Okay, so after entering into the tubes, they have to search where the egg is and they have to fertilize. Only one sperm will be fertilizing with the egg. Okay, so for example, if the sperms, they are not moving forward, then there will be no fertilization. And if there is no enough number of sperms, it is also one problem, right? So whenever you are going to any fertility center for a baby, so they will be asking you to have the first sperm count. So they will be saying like how many sperms that you are releasing, and after that also they will be checking like whether there is forward motility is there or not. So what are the sperms are there? So there will be some important parts. So we will be having head and body and tail will be there. So what happens? So in this structure of sperm, sometimes we can see abnormalities, like there is no tail, so there is no body, so deformities in the head, like that. Okay, so based on all this, yes, we can give that is a medical people, they will be giving the report on the sperms, etc. So if women having the problem, means she can't bear the, or she can't become the pregnant. Or if there is any problem in the male also, yes, that woman again, she cannot become pregnant. So at that time here, so they have an option called as surrogacy. Surrogacy means nothing but we are taking womb as a rent. That means this woman, she is not able to bear the child. So if her uterus is not supporting, or if she is not releasing the eggs or gametes, so she can go for surrogacy. Surrogacy means we are taking the rent of a woman, or that is a womb of a woman, we are taking rent. So we are taking egg and we are taking the sperm and we are fertilizing artificially, and after that it will become 8-celled body, that is called as blastocyst. And this blastocyst now will be, we are keeping this blastocyst in the woman, okay, whose womb is taken as rent. So this is the concept called as surrogacy. Clear? And now let us see the notes part. So now what Union government said, that what central government is saying that, so central government modified surrogacy regulation rules of 2022, and now it said that both gametes need not come from a married couple. So earlier earlier our government said that, so whenever any couple, that is wife and husband, if they want to go for surrogacy, so both gametes should be, that is female gamete and male gamete should be from that so and so couple. But now because of increasing of lifestyle changes, everything, so there is increased problems in this reproductive tract of women and men. So because of this, now yes, our union government said that it is not like both the gametes, at least one gamete should be from couple, like male or female. So as per the latest amendment, couple can have a child born through surrogacy but must have at least one gamete. So earlier two, like male sperm and egg from the couple, but now either sperm or egg from the couple. Also, even a single woman, that is a widow or divorcee, undergoing surrogacy must use self eggs. Okay, when woman is going means, so she has to use her own self eggs, Okay, and she can take the donor sperm to avail surrogacy procedure. So this is the thing which mainly said by central government now. So what is a surrogacy? Surrogacy, it is an arrangement in which a woman agrees to carry and to give birth to a child on behalf of another person or a couple. Okay, surrogate is also called as a gestational carrier, and she is a woman who conceives, carries and gives birth to a child for another person or a couple. So what are the key features of the Surrogacy Act? The first one is it allows only altruistic surrogacy. It is not allowing commercial surrogacy. So only altruistic. That means only that surrogate mother will be taking medical expenses and as well as insurance coverage which is provided by the couple. Okay, she will be not getting any other monetary consideration. And next one is married couple allowed surrogacy only on medical grounds. Like if they are not able to go for reproduction, then only they will be allowed to go for surrogacy. And next one is the surrogacy law, which defines a couple as a married Indian man and woman. It also prescribed the age criteria for women. So women should be like 23 to 50 years and man will be like 26 to 55 years. And ineligible means the couple who is having already child of their own. Okay, they are not eligible for this surrogacy. And though the law which allows a single woman to resort to surrogacy, so she should either be a widow or divorcee and age between 35 to 45 years. And single men, however, they are not eligible to go for surrogacy. And eligibility criteria here is only close relative of a couple, they can be a surrogate mother or who is able to provide a medical fitness certificate. And she should have been married. So surrogate mother should have married and she should have a child of her own and must be aged between 25 to 35 years. Okay, so these are some important features of this Surrogacy Act in India. So I want to give you mains question. So today's mains question is based on the surrogacy itself. India had emerged as a hub of commercial surrogacy for couples in recent times, benefiting especially poor. In light of this, critically examine the Surrogacy Regulation Bill of 2019. Okay, so try to answer this question. And these are the very important articles that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. Okay, let us have a look over other articles as well and let us find if there are any articles important from our examination point of view. So in this world page I found nothing, and from this business page there is one article, that is RBI asked NPCI to examine 197 TPAP applications. So here you have to know about what is this National Payment Corporation of India. So here this is very important. So there is a high chance of getting question regarding NPCI, because if you open YouTube, so there will be lots and lots of ads which are coming regarding this NPCI, regarding you should not invest in the schemes, you should not download the apps that you are not knowing. Like that you will be getting lots and lots of advertisements, right? So there is a chance of getting questions regarding this NPCI in your prelims and you have to focus on that. So these are at most important topics that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I am concluding. So if you really like this class, hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends also. And prelims is very much near, so if you have any doubts regarding any concept, okay, or any subject, so come and take this courses that we are offering in this Rathods IS Academy. And even we are going to provide the foundational course for 2025 and 2026 with a very, very low cost, which is affordable, that is around 15,000 to 20,000, which includes A to Z, even interview guidance if you clear up mains. Okay, so here from where you can get the notes of this class is, you can join the Telegram channel. This is Rathods IAS classes Telegram channel. So please do join this channel so that you can get the notes. And this is Rathods IAS Academy YouTube channel. So please do subscribe to this channel. And here this is our website. So if you want to have any courses, so you can watch the demo videos by clicking play course and you can buy the course in the website itself. So that's all for today. So please do join the courses, and if you want to join the foundational course, you can call me on this number 807476 5513. Okay. So thank you so much for watching, and we are going to meet in the tomorrow's class. Until then, stay tuned to Rathods IAS.